Hello, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on replacing the screen on an Acer Aspire 5738-5338 series. You're going to start by removing the 4 bumpers on each corner of the screen. Underneath each of these bumpers is a screw that holds the screen into the black outer frame. Once you have all of those removed, you're going to take a Phillips screwdriver that fits the screws fairly well and unscrew all of those screws. Some may not come out right away. Don't worry, they'll come out when you pop the frame off the screen. Now, very carefully take a flathead screwdriver and very carefully pry the outer screen or the outer frame apart. Now you're going to hear a cracking noise. That's just the clips releasing. Make sure you keep track of all of the screws as well. Very careful at this end. There are some circuitry there that you don't want to damage. Okay, this frame should just pop right off the parts there. Once you have the outer frame off, you're going to see an aluminum inner frame here that holds the screen. First, you have to disconnect the webcam connector. Be very careful as you do this, as you can damage the connector very easily. Now, there are screws on this inner frame that have to be taken out. The ones on this side were already released, so I'm just going to release the others. They're on the corners of the frame. Now once you have the screen released from the inner frame, it should come out fairly easily. Now, there's going to be an adhesive strip here. I want to carefully remove this from the back of the screen. Try not to damage the strip, as you will be using this again on the next screen. The next step, once you have the screen up and the connector to the rest of the computer accessible, you're going to take a flathead screwdriver or pry tool to remove the clip, the cable, from the existing port. And be careful not to damage the port. And it should remove like so from the screen. There will be some adhesive holding that connector to the screen as well. And in order to take out this screen, you must carefully peel it back. And lay it down. Also, there's another connector at the very bottom of the screen, and that's going to be a port as well. You want to remove that connector very carefully. And then once that connector has been removed, the screen is now free from the computer. So now you're going to take your new screen and pretty much repeat these steps backwards. So we're going to start out. Now this screen is a little different. The one that was just on there had a touchscreen module, and this does not. This is just a regular screen, but it does have the same port right there, so it will go back just like the other one. Now, I had actually dropped some screws in here, so I'm just going to remove those now before we close this back up again. Okay. Now, let's see, find the bottom. Good idea would be to move that sticky cable kind of back in the right spot, and you're just gonna press it right back on. The rest of the adhesive on it should just hold it to the screen like so. And now you're going to connect this cable back. You may take a flathead screwdriver at the very bottom to help push it into place. Once the connector's in, now the screen is connected. Now you're just going to lay the screen back into the frame. And those little silver screws that were in the metal inner frame are just going to go right back in. I'm going to restart the video once I've done that. So all you're going to do is put each screw in on here and each screw down in this area. Once you have those small metal screws back in, you're just going to continue to keep putting everything back together. Such as the webcam. Plug that back in. Plug in your bottom one there if you have the touch screen. Also, in order for me to do the small silver screws, I had to unscrew the joint right here in order to take off the mid frame. So I'm just going to put those screws back. Okay, once those are back, you're going to take the frame, the plastic frame, and first you're going to clip it right to the joints, and then start clipping everything back in. Also in the process, if you want to screw in the frame to the screen, you can. It also might be helpful if you have magnetic screwdrivers for this process, because these small screws can be hard to handle in small tight places. Then once all those screws are back in place, you're going to replace the little bumpers again. And once you do that, your laptop screen should be completed. And thank you for watching this tutorial on the Acer Aspire screen replacement.